Well, good evening, both of you. I'm with Dr. Ty Hauser,
Nice to be back.
and we're glad you're here. And a first-time anchor, Auntie Mame.
Thank you.
So cool to meet you.
And,
Nice to meet
and
you.
you're all color purplish.
That's what I do,
That's
right?
what you do.
Tribute, shout out to
I
Morty.
hear your show's quite good. Black is the new. Wait, Black?
Black is the New Black.
Really?
Yeah, it's an all-black comedy show down in Miami.
Yeah. At the Villain. Little Haiti. Yeah, I've been. It's great theater. We're going to Santiago, Chile tonight.
Yes.
Well, welcome to Queer News Tonight, the world's first and only LGBTQ daily evening news. It's time to queer up the news. It's 7 p.m., Thursday, April 22nd, Earth Day, and we are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. So many of your important stories we're going to tell this evening on Queer News Tonight. The world's first live daily queer evening news show. Out of the closet and into the headlines on Q News Tonight.
Thank you for joining Queer News Tonight. This is the world's first and only unedited live LGBTQ+ evening news show. Whatever happens, you're going to see it.
This evening, we bring you the news and their perspective representing the LGBTQ+ community from South Florida, America, and across our planet.
I'm your anchor at Queer News Tonight, Al Ferguson. Let's welcome anchor Dr. Ty Hauser. He is an associate professor of English and Humanities at Broward College. Additionally, he teaches for extended periods of time at international colleges in China, India, Spain, and Bolivia. He also serves as our progressive college professor host on Happening Out Television Network's discussion and debate show, Gay Town Hall, live every Thursday at 8 p.m. Good evening, Ty.
Good evening.
Well, next let's welcome anchor Auntie Mame. She is a singer, actor, activist, podcaster, and stand-up comic. She's the mother of the House of Yas, Florida's and the Southeast's only all-queer comedy and performance collective based in Miami, performing at Villain Theater. Currently, you can catch her hosting Black is the New Black, an all-black stand-up comedy showcase in Miami, and laugh your yas off. Got it? I get the joke. The first all-queer stand-up comedy showcase at the Pub in Wilton Manors is one of her shows. So good evening, Auntie May.
Thank you for having me. I love it.
Well, tonight we begin with the queer headlines. The LGBTQ community in South Florida and across America is diverse. Our community across the world is vast, and here are the bullet points of the queer news for today, Thursday, April 22nd. Let's begin by queering up breaking Q news. Wilton Manors Stonewall Pride Parade will be broadcast to America June 19. There will be Pride on June 19, and there will be a parade in South Florida. Wilton Manors Stonewall Pride Parade and Street Festival becomes one of America's first Pride parades. One of the nation's best annual parade and street festivals was canceled in 2020 because of the pandemic. Yesterday, city and county officials gave the green light to Stonewall Pride to take place on Saturday, June 19th. In exciting news, Happening Out Television Network will broadcast the entire parade live on Wilton Drive with a special pandemic retrospective and the Return to Pride, a 1-hour special before the Pride Parade steps off near Wilton Manors City Hall. This will be the first Pride Parade broadcast to the entire nation. The pre-parade special will include many celebrities, and you will see all the festival floats and parade participants completely live. According to studies, the Stonewall Pride Parade and Street Festival typically attracts about 35,000 spectators and has a direct economic impact of more than $1 million for the city of Wilton Manors. The street festival with music and vendors will begin at 3 p.m., followed by the parade at 7 p.m. when temperatures fall. This will be South Florida's first ever twilight and evening parade. The one-day event will end at 11 o'clock. Wink, wink. Well, Wilton Manors is in the heart of South Florida's LGBTQ plus community, and the name Stonewall Pride recognizes the 1969 riot that took place at the Stonewall Inn, a gay bar in New York City, which was raided by police. The event triggered the gay rights movement. Happening Out Television Network and Queer News Tonight will become a platinum sponsor for Stonewall Pride, and between now and June 19, we'll have dozens of stories and exciting information before this historic return of LGBTQ Pride, with a parade in our historic celebration month of June.
I am so excited. Stonewall Pride is like my favorite pride ever. I can't wait. I'm so excited. Last year was such a downer to not have it. Yeah. And happening in the evening, Al, you only look good by twilight, so this is really going to be great.
The shade begins, Auntie. The shade starts.
It's going to be great, right? I mean, I've had so many good memories at the different Pride parades. I've seen some amazing things, shocking things also, but amazing things. And it's just going to be, nice, and it's going to be a nice celebration too of just remembering. I think through the pandemic, we've forgotten how important that community is.
Absolutely.
It's going to be beautiful.
And you know, exciting. We'll be broadcasting. We'll be on a big stage on Wilton Drive. We'll have people in the street to be able to capture the walking units and the floats. And it's a perfect choice. If you feel comfortable, get the vaccine. Get the vaccine. If you feel comfortable, come to the parade. If you don't, you can see every minute of the parade on our live national broadcast. And people from all over the nation, because this is among the very first Pride parades in America, I know are going to be tuning in from everywhere, because it's like, wait, what is this? I haven't seen this in a long time.
I can't wait. We should get Kathy Lee Gifford.
Yeah, exciting. We've got the fun swirling.
Well, next we'll queer up business. YouTube shuts down anti-LGBTQ plus channel promoting conversion therapy. YouTube has shut down the homophobic channel of Nigerian pastor TB Joshua. The channel, which had close to 2 million followers, was home to numerous anti-LGBTQ+ videos. These videos featured the preacher performing extreme forms of conversion therapy. YouTube released a statement stating, quote, "YouTube's community guidelines prohibit hate speech, and we removed flagged videos and comments that violate these policies. In this case, we have terminated the channel," end quote. The majority of Joshua's videos were posted between 2016 and January 2020. They featured the preacher conducting violent exorcism and showed him attempting to cast out the demon of homosexuality. The videos were watched millions of times. With his channel officially closed, Open Democracy, a civil rights organization, has set its sights on Joshua's Facebook profile, which also hosts anti-LGBTQ+ content. A Facebook spokesperson said, quote, "We don't allow attacks against people based on their sexual orientation or gender identity, including content promoting conversion therapy services," end quote. Since the removal of his content, TB Joshua Ministries has created a social media campaign in an attempt to get the YouTube page restored.
Wow.
Wow.
I love that he's going to social media to do this. I'm like, you realize that's probably going to get taken down too, right? I mean, that's just kind of how this works now. I don't want to say that things are on our side, but as far as media organizations go, you can't really do this anymore.
Yeah, and it's a reflection of the sadness for me of our brothers and sisters and non-binary in the continent of Africa. This is happening all over Africa. The popularity of his sites in YouTube and in Facebook are not just Nigerian. We have reported issues in Ghana, we've reported issues in Ethiopia, and varieties of other places in Africa. I'm really glad YouTube has stood up to this. I'm glad that Facebook is beginning to stand up to this. They're a little slow, in my opinion,
They
a
are.
little slow. But at the end of the day, I agree with you. Social media and communication companies are putting stops to this. I was thinking when I read this story at YouTube and what Facebook is doing, if they can do it to the President of the United States, they can do it to this crazy pastor in Nigeria.
Absolutely. The only thing I want to add to that is I think they're exactly right, because free speech stops when hate speech begins.
Yeah.
That's right.
And that's exactly where this has happened, and it's an American company, so good on you, YouTube and
Exactly. I
Facebook.
love it.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's queer up entertainment. When Love, Victor Season 2 is dropping on Hulu, Simonverse rejoice. The second season of Hulu's beloved gay teen dramedy, Love, Victor, will be returning to our screens very, very soon. After ending the first season on a major cliffhanger, fans of the Love Simon spinoff will be glad to know that we can finally see what happens in the aftermath of Victor coming out to his family. When the series returns to streaming on Friday, June 11th. The drama of it all. Julia said it timed the launch to coincide with June Pride Month. Now watch this.
Hey everybody, we are the cast of Hulu's Love, Victor.
Oh, we miss you guys so much.
We know you're wondering what comes next in our stories, and while we can't tell you yet, we do have a little Creek secret to share.
Love, Victor Season 2 is coming to Hulu on June 11th, 2021!
We cannot wait to share it with you.
Until then, go catch up on season 1 now.
And we will see you back on Creek before you know it.
Well, I destroy all my credibility from anchor seat at Queer News Tonight by saying I love Victor so much. I loved season 1. I've watched it 3 times.
Why is that destroying your? Why is that?
I don't know.
destroying
It's such a light, kind of silly, romantic comedy. But I love it. I really do. And of course I love Simon. And anyway, I can't wait.
I
for
feel like
June
I need
11th.
to turn in my gay card because I haven't seen either of them.
Oh my!
Oh, no, they're wonderful. I
They're
mean,
wonderful.
I have to tell you, when I watched it the first time, because I watched Love Simon and then I watched this. Oh my gosh! If this had existed when I was younger, and just having that example of just the normalcy of it all, because it's not that abnormal. It's not some shocking thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that hits the bullseye. If that world would have existed when I was in high school, I can't imagine the differences of how that would have affected me. I love it. I just absolutely do. I can't wait for June 11th.
So you have to go watch it.
Yes.
I'll get caught up. I'll get caught up.
Get caught up. Right. Exactly. All right. Well, next we queer up gay culture. Pride in a Box. Okay, brings LGBTQ plus pride home, providing decor and joy for at-home celebrations. Brand Pride announced today the official launch of Pride in a Box. I love that name. Pride in a Box is an at-home pride kit that guarantees to bring fun, joy, and unicorn love, as they say, into your home. For 20 years, Brand Pride has been guiding brands on LGBTQ plus promotional items and helping brands show their support for the LGBTQ plus community. Pride Month is a vital and joyous time for the LGBTQ plus community. And that joy does not have to be compromised because of most in-person celebrations being canceled over the last year. Let's bring Pride right to you. Pride in a Box offers a convenient way to get unique Pride products to celebrate at home or virtually with friends and family. Their fantastical Pride boxes, as they're called, officially launched today and can be ordered from prideinabox.com. Can I say that name any more times? Oh, wait, let me do it again. Pride in a Box is a community-focused and centered effort. CEO Elise Lindborg said, quote, "At Brand Pride, we are constantly seeking out LGBTQ plus and minority-owned businesses to work with. We want products by us and for us, which is why we're thrilled that 95% of the Pride in the Box items are designed and sourced through LGBTQ plus suppliers. The LGBTQ plus community is vast, diverse, and beautiful, and we hope Pride in a Box can offer some happiness and connection in this unprecedented time of our lives, end quote. Brand Pride is lesbian-owned, by the way, an LGBTQ plus certified branding solutions company. For more than 20 years, the company has guided hundreds of brands on their quest for the best promotional items to achieve their goals of building brand loyalty. Everyone at Queer News Tonight and the Happening Out Television Network are very excited to be the first to say, Happy Pride.
Yay. I went to the website and I got to tell you, I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm gonna buy one. I have to.
Oh my
but
gosh.
in the comment section, I did make a suggestion that the next step should be Twink in a Box.
Twink in a Box.
Twink in a box. You'd have a very.
You're going to
small
learn a
box.
lot about Ty tonight.
I can tell already. I don't know. I'm wondering if this takes off. Especially because we're doing the Twilight Parade, they should do like a Pride in the Box nighttime edition, right? with some
Have lights.
right,
or-
yeah.
Bud Light
It's an
and poppers
awesome
and
idea.
things like that, right? I don't know. I mean, it could take off too, like jock straps, things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know.
Not to get political or too busy, businessy busy. One of the things I really love about this, it's a really cute idea, and the name is really cute. But we have reported lots of times at Queer News Tonight about the commercialization of our community and Pride events and businesses that come in and they do special commercials or create cereal boxes, etc. One of the things that jumps off the page of this story to me is 95+% of the businesses are LGBT, minority owned. It really resonates with me when you hear, wait, we're creating products that are made by us for us.
right.
That is nothing against our sponsorship and our corporate America in supporting our community. We need that. But when we have the opportunity to support our own, we should always try to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Well, next we will queer up the USA. Victory! Gay teen suspended over painted nails just defeated his school. After our story last year at Queer News Tonight, some welcome news out of Clyde, Texas. Trevor Wilkinson, a gay teenager suspended from high school for wearing nail polish, has convinced the local school board to introduce and accept a gender-neutral dress code. The Clyde School Board voted this week to accept the new gender-neutral language in the student handbook. The same standards now apply to students of all genders. Wilkinson said, quote, "It is with great honor that I am pleased to announce that Clyde High School's dress code is officially gender-neutral forever. I'm at a loss of words for the joy I am feeling on this special day. I am so blessed by the support, love, and help I have received through this experience," end quote. Wilkinson made international headlines last year after he received a suspension for wearing nail polish at school. At the time, administrators said that he violated the school's dress code, which barred males from wearing makeup or nail polish.
I am so happy for this story. I'm also shocked because it is Texas and they are not exactly the most progressive place in the world, but I think, man, young people today, like once again, they are of a new stock. Like they fight for the things and it's just beautiful.
Yeah, it's the first positive story that we, I think, have told about Texas in 2021 first. A couple of notes. If Wilkinson got suspended for wearing nail polish, you probably would have gone to prison.
Oh, it would be terrible. I mean,
High school?
I mean, at the same time, though, like I really enjoyed doing the school plays where I was from because it was like, oh, I get to wear makeup now and no one can say a word to
Let's
me.
return to you going to prison.
It would be
No.
I'd be fine in
Yes.
prison. Thank you.
I'm learning a lot about you tonight, too. The other thing that I think is really interesting about this story is this kid, I call him a kid, for me, he's a kid, goes to school with simple nail polish. Come on. This is 2020 when this happened. I remember reporting this story at Queer News Tonight. He's wearing nail polish. Who cares?
What does it matter?
And he sticks to it and sticks to it and sticks to it and says, okay, I'm accepting my suspension, but I'm beginning to fight. And now, 6 months later, he's in a situation where he has created a change in not only his school and not only for him, but for all students in all of the schools in that school district. Congratulations for him. It's just like Stonewall. Somebody has to be the first one to do it, and Wilkinson did it.
I'm going to go home and put on my nail polish to celebrate.
Yeah,
Do it.
exactly,
Do it.
right.
Clear coat. All right, so get your ones ready, because next we queer up South Florida. In celebrated fashion, Lips Fort Lauderdale has reopened. Lips, the legendary home of South Florida's drag dining, which was established more than 30 years ago, before there was RuPaul's Drag Race, is back and more bodacious than ever. The entertainment venue returns to a sold-out crowd tonight with hostess Tiffany Fantasia, plus the debut of a cast of talented performers, Asheria Price, Aaliyah J, Crystal Famous, and Karma Sutra. They join South Florida's favorite ladies of lips, including Amanda Austin, Nicolette, Francesca Richards, Selena, Velvet Lenore, April Chanel, Daisy Dead Petals, Nicole C. Phillips, Michaela Cristal, and Trinity Beat, some of my favorite people in this world. In keeping with the tradition of Lips nightly themed shows, the reopening will kick off with The Divas on Thursday nights, Glitz and Glam every Friday and Saturday, and Lips Dragalicious Gospel Brunch on Sunday. Lips is located on Oakland Park Boulevard, just minutes from the famous Wilton Drive. Reservations are required, and you can call 954-567-0987 or visit Lips social media or go to FLA Drag Show for more information. Everyone at Queer News Tonight are glad to see Lips come back.
That is an absolute bullseye. First off, a couple of notes. Half of those girls have been anchors at Queer News Tonight,
right.
and I was thinking about a third of those girls I wish was sitting in Ty's seat tonight.
They gotta work.
Gotta work. Here's $1 for you,
Yeah.
Ty. And second, you know, one of the things that I'm so happy to hear about this story is this is Fort Lauderdale, and drag is central and centric, and it has a great place in our community. It is our gay culture. Lips closed in pandemic, and Lips has been around a long, long time. The note about long before RuPaul's Drag Race is a really good note, because I suspect that pandemic will actually turn out to be great for Lips, because they had tryouts, they did the interview process, they have freshened up their show concepts and what they're going to do, and pandemic is probably given Lips the opportunity to say, wait, we're going to come right back at you in a completely new way, and you're going to love it. And Ty, whip out your fives, because we're going to have a really good time. And I'm happy for it, because Lips is an absolute central part of the Fort Lauderdale LGBTQ plus and overall community of Fort Lauderdale.
I carry dollar coins with me when I go to
Oh,
drag
okay.
shows.
You just throw them at them?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's kind
got
of how I do it. But I
Beating
love
them
the
in the head is not the
I love the lineup of drag royalty that was listed there. I was like, all those names together, that's fantastic. And the only reason that we talked about it being 30 years ago was so that Al could talk about RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yes,
Gosh.
thank you.
I mean, the thing is, like, it's very personal to me, right? These are like, a lot of these are my friends. And, you know, when all of the things started happening during the pandemic, like, I mean, it was a concern, right? You know, what's going to reopen? Are my friends going to have places again? Like, I'm very thankful that I have a normal day job outside of like this. And for them, like, it was their whole livelihood. So I remember when they announced the closing, my heart sank, because I just thought, oh my gosh, what's going on? But like you said, it's coming back and it's revamped, and it's just, you can't revamp if you're busy doing shows. So this actually was a blessing in disguise, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. Lips, we're so happy you're back. Well, next, let's queer up the USA. A little darker story. A new study finds nearly a third of young gay people have attempted suicide. Suicide rates among young people have been on the rise in recent years, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. But gay and bisexual youths are almost 5 times as likely to have attempted suicide as their straight peers. And despite advances in the fight for LGBTQ equality, a new report by the CDC finds that young gay people today are even more likely to have attempted suicide than in previous years. Researchers at the Williams Institute, a sexual orientation and gender identity think tank at UCLA School of Law, found that 30% of lesbian, gay, and bisexual respondents from the ages of 18 to 25 reported at least one suicide attempt, compared to 24% of those 34 to 41 and 21% of those 52 to 59. The study, published in the journal PLOS ONE, also revealed that these young adults are experiencing higher levels of victimization, psychological distress, and internalized homophobia than older generations.
You know, this is just another story that breaks my heart. I remember last week when I was here, we reported on a similar study on teenagers and violence that came out of the UK, and how gay teens are more likely to have suffered the hands of violence from family members. And this is just equally as heartbreaking.
I think that the thing that we forget is that even though things are very different than they used to be, the level of access now is so much more. You know, I can remember being bullied when I was in school, but you know, it was at school and you went home. Now there is no sort of separation anymore. Your bully can follow you 24/7. And I can't even honestly imagine what that would be like to have that level of intrusiveness. You know, otherwise you just have to cut yourself off from everything other than just, you know, living at home by yourself. And
and isolation adds to the psychological distress. You know, for me, one of the things that this study points out in our fight, all 3 of us are advocates in our community in various different ways, but we're advocates. It reminds me that protection is not enough. As we get more protection in law and enforcement in law, and have YouTubes and Facebooks say, no, you can't do that, that is one thing, and it's vitally important, having the law on our side, protection. But it doesn't necessarily change attitudes. And we must be vigilant and continue to work on the fact that we must change minds, because if we don't change minds, these kind of statistics will continue to worsen. And that's what leads to the increases, especially among young LGBTQ, of the increased suicide risk as compared to their straight peers. And that's what this study is ringing a red light to us, to pay attention to changing attitude, not just the law.
And a very big part of that will be YouTube and Facebook taking down hate speech.
That's right.
That's going to definitely work towards changing that.
Absolutely right.
Next, we queer up trans rights. Chris Crocker says NFT sale of Leave Britney Alone video may help fund their transition. When Chris Crocker uploaded one of the first videos to go viral on YouTube, they reaped more internet fame and infamy than monetary benefit. Back in 2007, then 19-year-old Crocker shared an impassioned plea for the media and others, general naysayers, to leave Britney alone. Now, the 33-year-old social media personality is finally seeing some profit from their iconic piece of pop culture history. Crocker made more than $41,000 for the non-fungible token, or NFT, of the Leave Britney Alone video at auction this week. Crocker had been inspired to speak out during the flurry of attention that accompanied the New York Times documentary framing Britney Spears, released earlier this year and streaming on Hulu. Crocker said they plan to use profits from the NFT sale for their transition. We wish to remind you of Crocker's viral video, so watch this.
And how fucking dare anyone out there make fun of Britney after all she's been through? She lost her aunt, she went through a divorce, she had 2 fucking kids, her husband turned out to be a user, a cheater, and now she's going through a custody battle. All you people care about is readers and making money off of her. She's a human!
Can I just say that I was actually reading about the story and reading about Crocker. Crocker themselves could really have their own story done. I mean, since that video, they've gone through different forms, different like they were a porn star for a little bit. They've done so many things, and it's just really interesting that right now the transition surgery, they're actually nervous because through all the things that have happened, they're still living in like the rural part of America that they were living in before. And they actually said that they want to get out of that. And before even doing the transition, which I felt was even more painful because I thought, oh my gosh, this money is amazing. Oh, but you're still in the same sad situation that you were in before and you're trying to get out of that. So my heart breaks for all of the things that have gone through since 2007. It's just insane.
You know, it's interesting. This story is interesting to me. First off, we show you just a bit of that video. When that came out, just to remind you, and I know all of us remember, but this was not only a popular viral video, this was 100 million plus viral video. And it's interesting to me of how the world has changed in the last 14 years. Crocker in transition, using the pronoun they and them. In the last 14 years, Crocker is transitioning and wants to continue the transition, cannot afford the process of transition, to your point of rural isolation, went through tremendous bullying, even in the LGBTQ community, because it's easy for us to make the joke. We have to at least, pay attention to the sensibility of this. But I think what's also interesting is in 14 years of transition, the development of this new philosophy of the NFT means that they, them, can finally profit in a way of the monetization of that digital viral video and use it for something that is beneficial for Crocker. And who could have possibly imagined in 2007, 2008 that this would be our conclusion in 21? That's very interesting to me.
Yeah. So, I mean, I did make the cheap joke because
it
was there.
Completely understand.
But I do want to say, I loved the video when it first came out. I was totally in support of them at the time and thought that it was...
Well, first off, we agreed.
But just such a true and honest
we agreed.
Play
leave
to the camera.
Brittany alone.
Yeah, and so leave her alone.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they achieved.
So ahead of the curve.
Yes.
So that is our queer headlines for today. So let's catch up on the LGBTQ plus news surrounding COVID-19 with our special segment called Quarantine Quickies. Queer News Tonight has been LGBTQ plus America's most important news source on the pandemic, as we have reported on coronavirus on every news broadcast since January 6th, 2020.
Tonight, we report the devastating effect coronavirus has had on the American and worldwide LGBTQ plus community in total cases and deaths. We also provide hope of a new light at the end of this long, long tunnel. As of tonight, more than 2,282,000 LGBTQ plus Americans have contracted COVID-19, and more than 40,000 LGBTQ plus Americans have died from coronavirus. As of today, more than 215 million vaccine doses have been administered in the U.S.
Love it. That is our COVID-19 news for tonight. Next, we report that Happening Out Television Network is passionate about our support for the LGBTQ plus community. An example is Sunshine Cathedral, the world's largest queer church here in Fort Lauderdale.
We are broadcasting from our permanent set here at Sunshine in supporting that partnership. The network broadcasts the largest LGBTQ plus religious broadcast in the world, with more than 30,000 watching every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, and it's totally live. We encourage you to tune in. Our campaign of sponsorship proudly supports Sunshine Cathedral is my queer church. Watch this.
Hello, I'm Kishai Martin, board member of Unity Coalition, and Sunshine Cathedral is my queer church.
We'd also like to thank our set designer, Concepto Modern Living, here in Fort Lauderdale for making this set in this amazing queer church campus possible.
Finally, we thank Queer News Tonight's hotel sponsor, Best Western I-95 Fort Lauderdale. This is the closest and best choice to the famous Wilton Drive, and our hosts and guests stay at this LGBTQ+ ally partner. We encourage you to stay here when visiting South Florida.
Well, next tonight, Happening Out Television Network is proud to sponsor the 23rd annual Outshine LGBTQ+ Film Festival, running from April 23rd through May 2nd. Happening Out Television Network and all of our programs are proud to serve as their premier sponsor. Tickets and passes are on sale now at outshinefilm.com. Let's begin by hearing a bit more about the Outshine LGBTQ+ Film Festival. Watch this.
Get your tickets now for the 23rd annual edition of the Outshine LGBTQ+ Film Festival, happening April 23rd to May 2nd. Don't miss our incredible grand opening drive-in event, followed by 10 days of non-stop films from here and all around the world that you can watch at home. Watch trailers and get your tickets at outshinefilm.com now.
Queer News Tonight is proud to showcase many of the film directors during the 23rd annual Outshine LGBTQ+ Film Festival. And tonight, we are pleased to feature the film Everything at Once, Paco and Manolo's Gaze.
This is a film essay about a singular couple, Paco and Manolo, two Catalan photographers from the outskirts of Barcelona who have been together for 30 years. Both have managed to work as a single photographer and have captured their imagery in the Kink magazine, a very personal photography fanzine with an essentially Mediterranean homoerotic aesthetic.
Their clothes fall, their bodies are freed, and their souls end up being captured by the lens of this intensely cultured, cinematic, and urban couple. Joining us tonight is director Alberto Fugue. He is a writer, filmmaker, and journalist from Santiago, Chile, and has written and directed many films. He is a professor of literature at the Universidad Diego Portales and a columnist for La Tercera.
Can we get Auntie a glass of ice water?
Honestly, I need it.
To tell us more about Everything at Once, Paco and Manolo's Gaze, coming to us live right now from Santiago, Chile, is Alberto Fuguet. Welcome, Alberto, to Queer News Tonight.
Thank you so for having me. Good evening. I've been enjoying the show.
Oh, well, very good. We're happy to hear it. Let's start. Before we dive into the film, of course, we're passionately supportive of independent and LGBTQ+ film. Tell us a little bit about your participation. You're coming to the Outshine Film Festival in this coming week. You're in Chile, in Santiago. I've been to Santiago, beautiful city. But how did you get involved in independent filmmaking like this? And tell us about a little bit of that process and how it brings you to a film festival like Outshine.
Well, I've been a movie buff from very a teenager. I think what you were talking about, Love, Simon and Love, Victor. I never saw those type of movies, but I was very keen on trying to figure out how homoerotic or bromancy were the films, or what you could piece together. I always loved body movies for some reason. So I always, movies. Excuse me?
You said body movies, correct?
Buddy
movies.
Oh, buddy movies. Okay.
So I always felt like the tensions, even in Westerns. So I guess I always wanted to be a filmmaker, but before digital it was harder, and I began to turn into a writer first. But I guess it doesn't go. I mean, to be a writer makes it easier to direct, I think, especially if you're in charge of the script and of storytelling. At the end, every movie, even if it's a documentary, tells a story, and this is a story I felt I wanted to show.
And have you have you participated much yet? There's kind of a season in film festivals. Has that begun for you yet? Have you?
We're
done
barely
anything?
starting, so we only have one behind us, which was Wicked Queer at Boston. So now Miami and Outshine is really, we're just beginning to feel if the movie is working and connecting, and it seems so. And I expect Miami won't be scared of naked men. So my fingers are crossed.
Wait, wait. There's
No,
naked,
because in some
naked
places,
men?
in some places, people are more uptight. So
Yeah, not here in South Florida. No,
Good.
in fact, Ty's watching the movie as we speak,
And
sitting
drooling.
here, sitting here at the table. Albert, I
well, I
wanted to
think
ask.
the movie basically.
No, go ahead.
No, regarding Ty, I think every movie has a message. Every movie perhaps has, a story to tell. And here, I think we tell different stories. But what I've noticed that everybody tells me at the end, even if I don't ask them, you know what? I would pose.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, good to know. I mean, you have to tell Paco and Manolo, because the movie really asks you, would I pose nude? And would I be? And also, I think that is a new generational thing, because what I realized in the movie that younger people don't really care about posing nude, and it's it's an honor. But for people older, it's something you think about. But
Yeah.
Paco and Manolo really do art, and it's not just something that goes on the internet. Like this is, I think it's amazing.
Yeah, and Albert, I wanted to ask you to that specific point. One of the things that's interesting from the film's theme is exactly what you mentioned there. The older cultural control that we place on ourselves versus the inhibition or lack of inhibition for younger members of the community. What was the inspiration for you to do this and show this, to explore nudity and masculinity and the photography of it? What was your motivation to do this?
Well, I think to tell you the truth, it was the first movie, my first openly gay with nudity movie I made was a movie called Cola de Mono I did a couple of years ago. And in the script I wrote, there was a scene that took place in a bathhouse, and there were a scene that took place in a park where there would be cruising, and in my imagination there would be some sex. And of course I thought this was never going to be able to do it because we didn't have money, it was a low budget. And how would I ask somebody to be nude in a movie and less have oral sex in a park? But my producer, who was a young guy, said, let's put an ad or let's use social media and ask people. And then we didn't know what to do with all the people who wanted to be in the movie naked and for free. So there I said, oh, this is something strange or different or new. And I want to investigate. And then I found this magazine. A friend who's actually the producer of the film, who's Spaniard, brought me from Spain this gift of these like 8 magazines that are very cherished. And it's sort of like a butt magazine in some houses in another generation. When if like you go to somebody's house and you see butt, you know what butt is?
Yes.
I guess you know, no?
Yes.
And in Spain and in Europe, like to have a magazine by Paco and Manolo means something. Of course it means you're gay, but it also means you're sophisticated, you're elegant in a way you don't only need just like meat rack magazines, but you appreciate
the art of it,
beauty and culture. And so I began to think, wow, these guys are great. They're not really well known. And again, who are the guys or who are the men who pose? And one of the things I realized is many of them are straight.
Yeah. Albert, I wanted to ask you, with your experience, you being a university professor, you English, your doctorate in Santiago, Chile. Your experience in Chile, your experience here in America, I understand you've been to Fort Lauderdale and other places in America.
I'm getting lost, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious, do you see differences among gay men specifically? I'm very specific in my question here. Do you see differences in gay men in Santiago, in the capital in Chile, versus your experience in Florida or the United States and your experience in Spain, do you see any differences between gay men from those three different cultures?
Well, at least I wouldn't dare to go so specific, but I would say there's a difference between Latin culture and like North American culture. I think there's a more repressed, which also means that when they go wilder because they're throwing away the repression. So in some sense, the U.S. can be wilder, but it's also, and I think the U.S. is a shy culture of the body, and thinks there's more body issues, because to be naked, you also have to be perfect. And in Latin America, and especially in Spain, and what Paco and Manolo do, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be you. So, and it's amazing the way many of the models, which I was able to be present at these shoots, I interviewed them afterwards, and many were like very nervous. It's like, I feel so naked. It's like, dude, you're not naked. You were naked half an hour ago. So that's funny, the way we use in every language the word nakedness. And many were more shy to speak about their feelings than to show their assets.
Yeah, that is fascinating to me. Albert, my last question relates to this film festival. You're coming to one of the most important film festivals in the United States at Outshine in the spring. It's unique in America in LGBT because it's actually two film festivals. In the spring, it's in Miami-Dade County, and then in the late summer, early fall, it is in Fort Lauderdale and Broward County. And so you're going to be in the Miami edition of the Outshine Film Festival. I'm curious in terms of your reaction of what you've gone through in pandemic. You told me in our pre-conversation that while you're vaccinated, Santiago is basically in lockdown. In Fort Lauderdale,
yeah, I can't go out. No.
Yeah, in Fort Lauderdale, there is no such thing in Fort Lauderdale and Miami. So for an LGBTQ film festival being done digitally, what's your experience been of doing an LGBTQ plus film festival digitally, like what you've done already this year with Boston and now for Outshine, versus your traditional routes of having screenings at a film festival? What has your experience been like in the last year in pandemic?
Of course, it's not the same, but I think it's in many ways it's also perhaps there's some things that are good about it. I mean, of course, I would love to be there, you know, in the sunshine and go to Lips or whatever, but perhaps more people can see it. Also, a theater at the end of the day has only 200, maybe 250 seats.
Yeah. And literally thousands could see your movie this week.
Exactly. Also, people who maybe don't want to go to a festival, to a gay festival, because they're shy or they don't want to be, they're in the closet or whatever.
They're afraid to show their body.
Correct. No, you can go to, well, here, exactly. You can see the movie at any time of the day. You can see it naked. You can see it with whatever you want. You can stop it. And also, one of the things that is crazy is showing the pandemic that many people think this movie, and well, the movie also tackles it because we edited during the pandemic, is a lot of people in lockdown have to stay alone in their houses. And there, at the end of the day, if you think what is COVID about, it's about defending your body. It's not really defending your soul or your ideas. It's, you don't want your body to get infected. So we in the movie also tried to show that nakedness also means fragile. I mean, the idea of being, especially a male man, or what they call in the movies full frontal nakedness, which is supposed to be on one side very arousing, but any actor doesn't want to show his dick. Here, I think we show that nakedness also means to be fragile, to be almost like an angel, to be like there's something, like people usually when they're naked, they're also alone sometimes. I mean, not always many times when you're naked is you're alone. So I think it also resonates with what's going on in the pandemic. And we try to understate that, or I don't know if that is that word.
Yeah. Very interesting. It
I hope that movie makes you sad also. I mean, I want you to titillate you, but I also, at the end, I hope it makes you sad. And also, I think it's about a marriage, which is I'm very amazed by this couple.
You know, Albert, it does wash over me in the comparison of nakedness for gay men and the COVID-19 virus, of the vulnerability that it has placed all of us in. Your words are heard.
And also the idea, there's a gay thing in the gay culture, and usually masculine culture, is that if a guy's going to be naked, he has to be hard. And here is like there's no shame in not being hard. I mean, you weren't born hard, and you're not going to die hard. I mean, you understand?
Oh yeah, I do understand exactly what you just said there.
And a guy who's not hard can be I think, much more beautiful.
Yeah, very interesting. Albert, I have not seen your film, but I can tell you for sure.
Not yet.
After this, after this interview, I am for sure going to see your film. Fascinating in terms of the conceptual idea of what you have created here. And an example, by the way, I have to say again, and I mean this completely, I sincerely mean this. This is the unique opportunity of an LGBTQ plus film festival to bring something like this to us that we're not going to see in other ways. This is not something we're going to see.
Yeah, because other people are scared.
Yes, exactly. And I'm not scared to watch your movie. I'm quite excited to see your movie.
I didn't expect less from you, Al.
Yes, very good. Albert, coming to us tonight from Santiago, Chile, all the way across the southern end of South America. You live in a beautiful city. We wish you all the luck with this this film, Everything at Once, and we wish you all the success in this coming week at the Outshine Film Festival. Everyone,
thank you so much for letting me talk and being, spotlighting, and I'm really proud and happy to be with you guys here.
Yes, it's crystal clear, and we appreciate you being with us tonight at Queer News Tonight.
Well, that is today's news for the LGBTQ community on the world's first and only daily LGBTQ plus evening news show. Is our community important to you?
Then help us by liking and subscribing, ring the bell for updates, share this news. We are the only LGBTQ plus television live video news in the world that is out of the closet and into the headlines. We need your support.
It's been a fun show tonight. Welcome. Auntie, you did great. And Ty, you did great. It's been a really interesting show tonight. I'm your anchor, Al Ferguson, and on behalf of anchors Dr. Ty Hauser and Auntie Mame, we will see you daily at 7 p.m.